Dave, obviously, you can kind of see from Kyle Tucker, even when he came up to me afterwards, he was just like, finally, for him to have a moment like this, to come through for his news.
Did he smile?
He did smile. What is it like just for a guy like him to have a moment like that?
It was great. He needed it. He needed a win, and he's been, grinding and trying to find some success and some good fortune. And so, yeah, big spot right there, walk off at home. So that was great. And see everybody go out and greet him and, celebrate him was fun to watch.
This game obviously ended on a very high note, but when you look at just the offensive performance throughout most of the game, what were you seeing from the team? And I think kind of limited opportunities to really execute and bring runners in.
Yeah, I just felt that, that first inning, we got a 2-out hit from Teo. And then, after that, we just really didn't threaten or create any opportunities. And, we got the starter out pretty quickly, through 4. And then after that point, they matched up and ran the lefties in a certain spot and kind of got the matchups. And, they did a good job preventing runs. And fortunately for us, Andy takes a really good at bat against the closer. Dalton takes a great at bat, and then we, gave ourselves an opportunity. And, at that point, I think both of us were kind of getting close to the end of the bullpen, and it was good to win the game right there in the 9th inning.
What did you think of?
Been looking better for Tucker lately, along with results been starting to turn a little bit?
Yeah, the process has been better. The quality of contact has certainly been a couple grades better as well.
It can take some time for big free agents adjusting to a new team, and obviously it wasn't the start that Tucker wanted, but what have you learned about him as a player and how he kind of handles adversity in this time?
Yeah, the transition certainly is always is unpredictable. I think that he's very consistent in how he approaches each day. He is traditionally, typically a slow starter, as I understand. But yeah, he's a pro, and he wants to be out there and still plays good defense. And but I do think that a moment like this, even for a player that's been around a long time, can kind of inspire more confidence in him, which is a good thing. But I do think that, as I said earlier, the quality of contact has been a lot better. So yeah, I think this is the floor of what he's going to be doing this year, and I think it's the needle is pointing up.
He's such a poker face. How have you learned to kind of read him in the short time you guys have been together?
I think I've given up already on trying to read him. I really have. I think that's just who he is, and it's not personal to anybody. And he's got a lot of things going on and trying to perform and prepare. But yeah, it just doesn't give anyone a whole lot.
Do you try to make him laugh or anything?
I pushed him after it's like in lieu of a handshake, I just pushed his chest and got him to smile a little bit. He likes talking watches. He likes talking about his family. But yeah, outside of that, I kind of just leave him be.
Do you think moving him down helped alleviate some of the pressure?
I think I would just more say that moving him down allowed the game to come to him a little bit slower, and I think that has been of benefit. I do.
We have seen guys come to this market, and some guys kind of really kind of embrace the culture here, and they start loosening up a little bit. Do you think we might see that with Tucker, or do you think this is what we're gonna get for?
I think he'll start to loosen up as time goes on. I do. I think even Shohei, when he first got here, was a little bit more reserved compared to where he's at now. So I do think that. Yeah, guys are working on him, and I think he'll loosen up and won't lose that edge that he has.
What did you see from Yoshinobu?
I just don't think he was sharp tonight. Even in San Francisco, that first inning, and then he sort of bared down and made pitches when he needed to. But tonight, I think. Even from the outset, I don't think that he was as sharp as we've seen for many starts. It's going to happen, and so it was a grindy one for him tonight. And so even with that, he has a 1-2 count, and then he leaves a split up for the homer with 2 outs. So even with that, if he can get that guy on the ground, then it's it's a really good outing. But, and I felt for me, he wasn't sharp tonight, so I didn't feel the need to push him.
Then think of
like from like a little bit fatigue or something?
I don't know. I don't know that answer right now.
He does walk that many batters. Do you think it's kind of an issue of him trying to, live on the edges a little too much?
I don't, I think that he's shown that he can pitch to the edges when he needs to, and I just think in total, the cutter, the split, just wasn't as crisp as it has been. Those guys, you got to give them credit. They took a lot of close pitches to get deep in accounts and take the walks when given to them.
what did you then think of the job your bullpen did to keep you in the game?
They did a fantastic job. I thought Henriquez was great. I thought Tanner was really good. Eder coming in and giving us a clean inning was big. And then I thought Alex wasn't particularly sharp, but he found a way to put up a 0. And, we needed every bit of it. And Eder got his first major league win, which was great. And, tomorrow being able to stay away from Klein and trying in tonight was huge, to then be able to, pitch Scott tomorrow too. So we're in a good spot.
How's the Japanese Heritage Night tonight?
Japanese Heritage Night was great. Great crowd, 50,000 people, a lot of Shohei Team Japan jerseys tonight. And Shohei put on a show. And I thought he was going to walk it off. I thought he was going to hit a home run for Japanese Heritage Night, but it was a great at-bat. Shohei's at-bats the last 3 days have been fantastic.
If you only tie the game in the ninth, what's your 10th inning infield look like?
Yeah, I would have put Freddie at third, and then Munch was going to slide over to second base, and then Dalton was going to be at first base.
Have you decided on Shohei hitting tomorrow?
He is not going to hit tomorrow.